I had just right now an interesting consulting process. A management team wants to tackle its issues, problems, and conflicts between the functions in the management team, in the board, and the chief executive director. We discuss right now if he can handle and should handle those conflicts without going to a workshop or off-site meeting directly. And we agreed that this is a very interesting issue. Of course, it's part of his role to handle the conflicts, to handle escalation processes, and to escalate issues among the board members who are not really solved and who are very heavy in terms of hindrances for the corporate development process. And we discussed that it's good that he is able to address. So first we discussed which kind of role he can take. He said, I would like to be the moderator. Then I said, okay, moderator, it's nice, but I think it's not possible because you are the CEO, you are of course evaluating everything, and you should evaluate what is good for the company, what is good for the functions, and to have always an overview, and you have the power, you are the leader of the organization, and in this case you are even the owner of the company, and it's not easy to stay back and to let those functions discuss with each other. And they know that you have a view, a functional view, what is the right way to handle a process, a working process, for example, between two functions. So then we agreed that it's good that he should mention his position, and he should make clear that it's important that they try to figure out the different views, and that he is open to create a new thought, a new view on the issues, and to be open to change his mind, even if it's sensible, if it's important. And the other aspect is that they should always look to the overall benefit for the company, not only for the individual functions. So it's like a rule of the game at the beginning. And the third advice I made is that by letting those two functions, for example, discuss the issues, and he holds back and looks and listens, and others do it as well, that he should say to those parties, stakeholders, that they should now listen to the others, to the more observing members of the management team, and to listen to their ideas, to their impressions of the dialogue, of the discussion, of the functional issues, conflicts, etc. So it's like a little bit like a reflecting team. This client, this chief executive officer, is able to do so because for the last years he is always busy with corporate development, with organizational development and change management issues, coaching aspects, team coachings, etc. with us, and before those years with us, the last 3 years, even with other consultants and coaches for the last 15 years. So it's possible for him to also work with this. And then we will go into a workshop after working for half a day alone without us. They want to collect first all the issues on a flip chart. Then they want to prioritize, so marking those, let's say, the 3 most important conflicts which has to be escalated, which has to be solved, problems in the company, for the company, burning hot topics, and then one by one they want to work on this, and then at the end they want to write down on the flip chart what has to be done now. And then after 4 weeks we will come together in a workshop, and then we will look back and look also at this procedure, how it was, how they work with each other. And the idea is that he is a role model, that he can handle really hot issues between functions where they always fight against each other and where they don't have to run a team building or workshop or whatever, but as part of their leadership process, of their management process, they have to tackle those issues. And then by learning from him, the functional members, the functional leaders should do the same with their managers in their operations, in their R&D processes, purchasing processes, etc. So this is something like a learning on a management level and a learning organization, and it's part of the containment, of course, they have to do in the management team, that those who listen, who observe, and who are not active, maybe they don't dare to say something because they don't want to go into a conflict with a colleague by taking position, for example, but they have to open up, they have to be responsible, feel responsible as well, in terms of containing the whole company from a management team position and a role.